huwa l-President ta' JCI Malta. Jonathan, JCI Malta x'inhi din l-organization?
Mela, JCI Malta hija Junior Chamber International. Nifformu parti minn organizzazzjoni ħafna ikbar mill-Amerika ilha mwafqa 100 sena mad-dinja kollha, kważi 100 sena. Ħanal 20 sena magħluqina Malta wkoll is-sena d-dieħla. Aħna pratikament il-membri tagħna huma minn 18 sena sa 40 sena. U huwa post għal kull min irid aħna we say push yourself to be better. Ġifieri aħna tittafas li kien nifsek kemm tista' biex inti tkun aħjar. Mela inti jekk inti qiegħed tistudja jew taħdem fis-settur ta' marketing pereżempju, meta tiġi ġo JCI jien mhux ħanpoġġik fuq marketing għax inti tajjeb ftik. Ħanpoġġik fuq xi ħaġa differenti ħalli inti jkun ikollok skill ġdida. U aħna wkoll għandna filosofija ta' opportunity to fail. Għax jekk inti tfalli f'xi proġett ix-xogħol, potenzjalment jista' jkollok passi disciplinarji. Per fin-naħa tagħna you fail and you learn. Allura aħna li nagħmlu nara l-members tagħna fiex huma interessati x'għandhom bżonn skills u għandhom dak is-soft skills li sfortunatament l-akkademja mhux dejjem tagħti.
Imagine the world in 2030. The world has changed rapidly. Has it changed for the better? The world population has increased from 7.1 billion to 8.5 billion. The land surface occupied by urban areas in 2030 has tripled. Due to increased migration, 5 billion of the world's people are living in cities. Conflict has decreased between neighboring states, but increased among countries with limited access to resources. A rising demand for food, water, and energy has created a challenge for countries, especially in the Middle East, Sub-Saharan Africa, and Southeast Asia. Governments are weaker. Citizens are stronger. Developing countries have grown. The global economy has expanded. Advances in communication and technology continue to connect the world daily. The middle class has increased significantly from 2 billion to almost 5 billion, and the majority of the world no longer lives in poverty. There is a growing sense of individual empowerment among citizens everywhere. As a JCI member, what will your role be on our journey to 2030?
U naf li intom tippromovu wkoll ħafna il-bidla pożittiva fil-bniedem u anke fil-futur tagħna bħala pajjiż bħala d-dinja. Bliema mod u kif isiru events biex tgħinu n-nies jagħmlu dan?
Mela, biex inti tagħmel dak jgħidu il-bidla pożittiva, tista' tkun xi ħaġa żgħira bħal xi ħadd li ma kien jaf xejn fuq xi networking, pereżempju, jiġi training u jitgħallem, dak il-bniedem telaq xi ħaġa ġdida. Dak huwa a positive change. Jew inkella tista' tkun xi ħaġa ikbar fejn jkun hemm xi ħadd u jkollna ħafna membri li jridu jagħmlu proġett fuq xi ħaġa partikolari li jemmnu fiha u jitgħallmu kif jimmaneġġjaw tim, ikollhom proġett, jmexxu proġett, jiseħħu, jġibu fondi jekk ikun hemm bżonn u aħna ngħinuhom fil proċess u jitgħallmu on each step. U dak huwa positive change ukoll. U mbagħad iżgħat tmur ħafna iktar minn hekk, is-sena oħra pereżempju kellna xi clean-ups li marru specific target clean-ups. Dis-sena qegħdin nagħmlu ħafna xogħol kemm mal-anzjani, kemm ma' handicappati and. Huma kollha proġetti li l-iktar ħaġa importanti il-membri tagħna stess. Because meta inti tiġi bl-idea, you own it, iktar jkollok il-volja li tidħol għaliha.
Ġifieri qed ngħidu kull min għandu xi idea u kull min għandu xi ħsieb li jaħseb li jista' ikabbru u jgħin il-futur tagħna u anke tiegħu innifsu jista' jingħaqad magħkom. Kif jista' jagħmel dan?
Jista' jagħmel dan billi jista' jidħol fuq il-website tagħna jci.org.mt u jikkontattjana, nakkontatti kollha hemmhekk u jgħidilna hu fiex interessat. Jiena bħala President, kull min kien interessat dis-sena intqajt ma' xi 55 dis-sena s'issa. Niltaqa' magħhom nimħu kafe x'imkien and I explain what you can do, how you can go about it. Hemm min interessat f'kollox, hemm interessat biss fit-training. Hemm min interessat biss fil-international events li għandna aħna li huma żbieħ immens. Skont dak li jkun fiex jkun interessat.
U bħala JCI Malta bħalissa naf li attiva ħafna. Torganizzaw ħafna laqgħat ukoll Malta u s-sena d-dieħla ser ikun hawn il-konferenza.
Yes. Pratikament aħna jkollna l-konferenza European Conference pratikament ħanġibu madwar 2000 min nies għaw Malta. Allura hemmhekk ukoll mhux ġest ħanagħmlu konferenza, għandna numru kbir ta' membri tagħna li qed jieħdu ħsieb loġistika, events, marketing, promotion ta' kull ġurnata, after activities and. Jew esperjenza li hom ukoll, hija xi ħaġa li ma jkollhomx ix-xogħol tagħhom dik l-esperjenza.
Grazzi ħafna Jonathan tal-li għattilna xi tfisser JC Malta u għadaw kollha li huma interessati biex jingħaqdu ma' JC Malta jistgħu jagħmlu dan u nħeġġukom biex tagħmlu dan aħna wkoll.
At JCI, we believe young people have the power to create positive change in the world. But the question is, how? To start, we ask, what are the greatest challenges in our communities? We work with our leaders and neighbors to discover the root of problems around us. We figure out how to design solutions that will last, and then we take action.
And today with us we have Derek Riley from Ireland. And you, at the moment, you're the deputy president of the JCI Ireland, and next year you're going to be the president. So what is this role and what it does entail?
It means that you are representing Ireland at a national and international level. So I have to deal with government, I will have meetings with the Prime Minister and the President to represent the young professional people of Ireland that are members of our organisation. And then at international level we have meetings in Brussels, European Conference which is actually here in Malta next year, New York with the UN, and also the World Conference is on in Germany. So I'll be flying the flag for Ireland over there.
So JCI wants to create positive change. How do you create positive change, and how is a person considered to be creative to create such a change?
What we want to do is, rather than fundraising for something and raising money for something, and what we're looking for is sustainability. So whatever the issue is, whatever the project is, we want to make sure that we partner with other agencies, whether it be in the corporate sector or in the government sector, and make sure that whatever project we come up with, it's creating positive change, but it's also sustainable. And what we have is a framework called the Active Citizenship Framework. And that means we monitor the project, we tweak it, we change it, and then if something needs to be done, we make sure that it's done, and there's results at the end, and we analyse the data. So it's not just raising money for something and we raise €1,000 or €10,000 and handing over the cheque. What is the cause of the problem? How do we resolve the issue? Because there's causes and there's effects, and that's what we're trying to find out.
Citizens must be healthy. By fighting disease, growing nourishing food, and offering affordable health care, we can all live up to our potential.
And you want to be creative, you tell people be creative, but who do you consider to be creative? How can you consider a person to be creative other than not being creative?
Everybody has the potential to be creative, but sometimes we fall in behind everybody else and we become followers or sheep. And what we try in JCI is to give everybody the opportunity to be creative, because everybody can be creative, just thinking outside of the box, but also trying to do something then, rather than just talking about it, actually going out and doing something, because we are the next generation of next government, next business leaders, and we have to be all creative, otherwise things would never change. But there has to be change.
So basically, we don't have to think, we have to react and to do things.
You have to be able to think about something, but then to do something about it. Because we can talk, and be sitting beside the pool or on the beach, and for talk, but we have to actually go out and do something, do action, have the meeting, do the project, whatever it may be. And we learn by doing. That's one of our sayings in JCI, you learn by doing, because you don't learn by talking.
So we now know that you're deputy president of the JCI Ireland, and next year you'll be the president. But you run a printing company, a property company, and you're also an officer at the Fire and Service Rescue in Ireland. What do you do there?
So I have a property company, I have a printing company, and then the fire services means I'm an officer. So it's on a beeper, it's on a pager system. So I could be in bed, I could be in the shower, I could be at a meeting, and the beeper, the pager will go, and that means I have to go to the fire station straight away. So it could be a house fire, it could be a car crash, it could be whatever, the same as Malta, same for the fire service here in Malta. I'm an officer in the station, which means I look after a crew of 9 men. So I make sure that everybody gets to do the practices and the training, but also if it's a serious big fire, I have to tell you to go into the fire, I have to tell you to cut that car. So it's a responsibility. I have to make sure that I'm responsible for these 9 guys. I can't send them into something that could be dangerous. So it's a lot of responsibility, but the teamwork, we're dealing with people on an ongoing basis, but it's also, I'm only 33 only, but a lot of the firemen are older than me, so me having a responsible job over them, they're like, who's this young guy? So you have to earn the respect as well.
And I think a lot of people ask you this question. Have you ever saved lives?
Yes. So we save people, children up to old people, from house fires, from a car crash, cutting people out of the car. So yes, it's part of the job. I don't think about it, I just do it. So I'm very happy and honoured to be a fireman.
And you don't have the beaver with you, so...
No, I'm good. I'm not going to go to Ireland this quickly.
Okay. And apart from this, you're also, you're an officer at the BNI.
Yes.
And you deliver talks and train thousands of people on online and offline networking. Can you explain the difference between online and offline networking?
So we're always networking, whether we're talking to somebody in the park or at school or in university or college, we're networking. We don't realize that we're networking. We're talking to somebody, we're talking to the next person. So offline networking is the understanding of how to talk to somebody, how to get into a conversation, how to get out of a conversation, how to walk into a room and understand where you can go and talk to the people in the room, whether it be at school, whether it be wherever it may be, at work. So that's offline networking, your physical form.
Social skills.
Yeah, soft skills, some people call it. Online networking will be very similar to Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter. You're networking with a person online, virtually. So that's become much more important in the last 5-10 years with Facebook and Twitter and all of it. So I deliver training on offline networking, how to talk, how to act, how to stand. You can stand a certain way that'll help people come and talk to you, but also then how to do it online again, how to become trusted and respected, because there's a lot of talk about cyberbullying at the moment, and how not to fall into that trap, how not to be bullied, how not to be a bully. And then when you get a bit older, how to network for business and for jobs, because we all have to have a job someday or own our own business. So understanding that doing it now, you could be 14, 15, 16, starting your LinkedIn profile, getting ahead of everybody else, because we're all going to be looking for the same job or the same business opportunity.
So basically, you're helping people to improve their social skills.
Yes.
And obviously to improve their life. But they say that, for example, even when we talk, there are certain manners that you shouldn't do.
Yes.
Can you suggest maybe some things to our friends who are watching us?
Yeah.
What to do and what not to do?
So when you're talking to somebody, the first thing you need to do is listen to what they're saying, and then ask them questions about what they're actually talking about. Because what happens sometimes is I'm talking to you, but what you're actually doing is thinking about what you're going to say next. So you're not listening to me. So as you're talking to somebody, whatever it may be, in business or in school, and they're talking about something, you need to ask them questions about what they're talking about. So for example, I might ask you, where are you from? In Malta, what's your village or what's your town called?
Picard.
And what's it famous for?
For the feast.
Okay, when is that on?
August.
August-ish. So I'm asking you about that. I'm not talking about me. You're going, oh, this guy is interested in what I have to talk about. But sometimes we fall into the trap of listening to ourselves and only wanting to hear our own voices. But we have one mouth and two ears, and we have to use it in that ratio. We should listen twice as much as we talk. But sometimes people like to hear the sound of their own voice, and they talk. And the other person is, I'm not talking to that person anymore because they don't listen to what I'm saying. They're only interested in their own voice. And this is good for teenagers, people in business, politicians, whatever it may be. We always have to listen to what people are saying.
This is something I think even related to television, because when we come, for example, I prepared some stuff, I made some research,
Yes.
but obviously when you start talking you have to make follow-ups. Sometimes you don't have to, you never say what you have planned to
Yes.
say, because you find other interesting things to say.
So you have to be prepared. It's great, like you are today with me. You did some research, but also I could say something and it might bring us in a totally different conversation. So you have to be prepared to be able to have a conversation with somebody about a totally different topic that you're not. And the only way to do that is practice. So practice meeting new people, going to networking events, joining new societies like JCI. That's where you can get to meet new people and learn how to communicate with people, because it's all about communication. Whether it be with work, university, job, business, if you cannot communicate with other people, you are not going to be able to get a job, you're not going to be able to sell your product or service, get a place in university, because sometimes universities have interview skills. And it's like having an interview, and if somebody asks you a question, what do you say, how do you follow up, all this kind of stuff. And these soft skills are very important, and sometimes we don't think we need them until we need them. So it's the practice that makes it work.
And for the people that cannot attend your seminar and want to know more about it, they can log in on the website.
Log on the website or look at JCI Malta Facebook page, and they'll see pictures and updates and start a conversation there. On Twitter as well, so it's all the social media, virtual online networking. But yeah, definitely keep in touch with the website.
We have a responsibility to leave a healthy planet for our children, so we must protect our resources and create a sustainable way of life. To be effective, we need a strong team. So, throughout the initiative, we engage partners from all sectors to help reach our goals. Along the way, we measure our results and evaluate our impact so we can prove our success. This is the JCI Active Citizen Framework. This is our roadmap to change the world.
Thanks a lot for coming
No
and
problem.
for telling us these few points that we shall not and shall do.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely lovely place, and the people are very welcoming, weather's brilliant.
Malta è bellissima.
It's great, much people, it's great.